My kids soften my heart, but I'm still enraged. 3 straps to the head, give it up, how villains made. Straight gutter. Kinda lonely, alone, never been a day. Matter of fact, my chick Nina, my closest of friends today. My buddy. Forever be engaged, be known as my friend of bae. Couldn't marry it, bust that time, gotta bury it. I've been astray, deserted, a renegade. Utensil got to rest, never know what my pen will say. Be like, if I was white, would it be easier? If I was born with wealth, would I be pleasing her? Do you see my worth as I proceed to work? Feet hurt, knees in the
This BFA Flex with the Hurt Biz Boxing Podcast, and I have some exclusive boxing content for you today. Interesting topic. We got Claressa Shields. Is she the GWOAT, meaning the greatest woman of all time? Or is this disrespectful to boxers from the past, great boxers from the past like Llaila Ali, like Wolfe? From my perspective, I do believe that Claressa Shields is the greatest woman of this era, of her respective era. She shouldn't be considered the greatest woman boxer of all time just yet. Or I don't know if I would ever consider someone the greatest of all time. I don't even say Muhammad Ali is the greatest of all time. I say of his era. And there's reasons behind that. So here's why. I'm not a big fan of the self-proclamation that you're the greatest of anything. I'm a firm believer that you should let your peers and the fans give their opinions, which can sometimes be biased or perhaps ignorant. Either way, there's a level of humility that comes with greatness. To put Claressa Shields' greatness in perspective, because she is great. She is great. 2-time gold medalist, Olympian, 2-time undisputed in the pros. She's great. She's great. No one's taking that away from her. I'll say she's the greatest women boxer currently, at least in and around her weight divisions or weight classes. But you still have to respect weight classes and applaud other greats like Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron, and currently Gabriela Fundora, who is Sebastian Fundora's sister, the 154-pound weight class champion. But Katie Taylor, if you don't know, and Chantel Cameron only suffering losses to one another for undisputed rights. And Gabriela Fundora, Sebastian Fundora's sister, being the youngest undisputed women's boxer in history. So these are accolades that we cannot ignore, that are going on, that have happened, and this is historical. So I don't mind the moniker GWOAT, GWOAT, the greatest woman of all time. I don't mind it being used. I believe it's a genius marketing tool. But I also believe that casual fans will see that, hear that, and use that as a reason for being attracted to the sport. Then they'll forget about former greats like Wolfe, and like I spoke about in the beginning, Llaila Ali. Now, these are two interesting people. Two very interesting women, female boxers, women boxers, however you want to put it, however you want to cut the pie. Hey, it's still going to be sweet and scrumptious. But look, Wolfe, I want you to do your research on her, but I'll give you a quick rundown of how I perceive her. But her boxing record is 24-1-1. She avenged her only loss to Valerie Mahfoud, which was also for a world title. This lady was cracking, and she was built like an action figure. You ever seen? Okay, so when I say an action figure, you ever seen like the X-Men action figures, or remember all the Marvel characters, and we used to play with the action cut up. Like, goshly, that's how Ann Wolfe was built. But anyways, think I'm lying. Go look her up. You feel me? But she had 16 knockouts of her 24 wins. 16 to, respectfully, Claressa's 3, I believe. So the power is tremendously different, and you could see that even in the way she fights. So go look up some of her fights. I'm putting you on game. If you've never heard of Ann Wolfe, go look her up right now. But she had 16 knockouts to make up her 24 wins, which is comparable to an elite male boxer with the same number of fights. She arguably was a middleweight queen pin. I'm just being honest, and I do mean queen pin. And additionally won a light heavyweight championship by a first round knockout. So all I'm saying is she should not be ignored when it comes to the GWOAT conversation. You dig? But lastly, my girl Llaila Ali, who happens to be almost 50 years old. I'm not digging Claressa calling her out right now. I don't even think it makes sense. Just to prove that you're the GWOAT, it doesn't make sense. It not quite the same, but you can compare it to the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson ordeal. But moving on, lastly, my girl Llaila Ali, whose past may not be as traumatizing and abusive or abrasive as we can say Claressa Shields or an Ann Wolfe, she was still an absolute boxing sensation. And this lady is Muhammad Ali's daughter I'm speaking of. So boxing is a sport. There is no unwritten rule saying that the competitors with the roughest background will always rise to the top. Llaila Ali, she was born into boxing royalty as the daughter of Muhammad Ali, with the passion and drive developed from merely trying to live up to the great Ali name. So she approached the game with unmatched fervor and blistered her way through competition. She amassed a record of 24-0, with 21 of her wins coming by way of knockout. This lady was prime time before women's boxing had the exposure that it has today. And I know that Claressa Shields would like to accredit that exposure to her marketing value and what she brings to the table, but we still gotta respect our OGs in my head, because it still started with these two I just mentioned. Okay, so I did mention this lady was prime time before women's boxing had the exposure that it has today. So currently it does have the exposure, same exposure almost as the males. It did not have that back then when Ann Wolfe and Llaila Ali were blistering through their competition. I find it highly unappealing, and this is in closing. I find it highly unappealing that Claressa is challenging Llaila Ali. I don't think the fight actually makes sense, and I'm not speaking monetarily, because I do believe that it's a sideshow. It would bring a bunch of fans. I might even watch it. It'll bring a bunch of fans to the table. They'll make a lot of money, but I don't think it proves anything. I think that there are current fighters who still have a lot to prove and who are trying to prove something. I think Claressa obviously is still trying to prove something, and I would love to see her just finish her career undefeated, head held high, knowing that she is currently the greatest woman boxer or female boxer right now of this era. And walk away in the sunset when it's all said and done. But she does have a lot more left in her tank, I believe, and a lot more for the fans to see. She is one of the greatest ever, maybe the greatest in some minds, but I won't say that. That's just not how I go about things. But I would like to know what you guys think about this topic. So drop a comment. Don't forget to like this video as well, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with your friends. It's BFA Flex. As always, thanking y'all for your support.